This week on WestfordCAT News, we ask a Muslim resident to reflect on the recent massacre in New Zealand.
One is always afraid of the other. If you don't know something, you're always going to be afraid of it.
We update you on who's running for the May townwide election, and we tell you about the Over 30 Softball League and the neighbors of the VFW ball field.
My law says that you must have permission. So by default, prior to 2014, alcohol was not allowed on any of the town property.
Stay with us. Your local news is next. Welcome to WestfordCAT News. I'm Christina Liedberg, Assistant Director at the J.V. Fletcher Library. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you to sign up for our email alerts to get our latest Westford news articles. Just visit westfordcatnews.org and click on the red subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. Do you have a local issue that you feel passionate about? Our news director, Joyce Polino Crane, would like to work with you on the details and collaborate on telling your story. Email jcrane@westfordcat.org to team up. A quick reminder, town meeting opens at 10 a.m. on Saturday, March 23rd at the Abbott School. A few hot-button issues are likely to bring a lively discussion to the floor. The meeting will end by 6 p.m., but if there are unresolved warrant articles, it will resume on Monday night. In the wake of a horrific massacre in ChristChurch, New Zealand, in which 50 Muslim worshippers died, we asked Shamim bin Darwala, a Muslim, to reflect on the incident. Here she is speaking with news director Joyce Polino Crane.
One is always afraid of the other. If you don't know something, you're always going to be afraid of it.
That's true.
Even I am.
Right.
But once you get to know that, that person, that community, that individual, you may find that they are not exactly that different from you. A lot of the people that I've met in interfaith work had never met a Muslim before. And once they got to know us and they found out, and then when we discuss things and we would talk about it, and said, oh, we do the same thing, just slightly different. So fundamentally, we may belong to different religions, but all those religions teach the same thing. And all those religions say, tolerate others. You can have differences and you can agree to disagree. There's nothing wrong in that. But there is no such thing as a bad person or a bad religion.
To watch the entire Main Street interview on demand, visit westfordcat.org. Public hearings for the Grace Community Church's site plan review began March 4th and continued on March 18th, with board members voting unanimously to waive the filing fees.
There's another thing, and that was the fee waiver. Now that we know that you're not going to do third-party peer review, so the last time they came before us with a request, we have a check for $5,100 or so for both the stormwater and the site plan review, and the applicant had requested a waiver of the $3,000 something for the site plan review. So, discussion on that?
We call it what our precedence is, but what's the pleasure of the board? So,
or to reduce it?
I think in these cases we've
think
waived.
typically the board has, in my recollection, waived much, if not all, of the fee associated for religious projects.
Motion to waive.
Second.
For just the site plan? Or for that and the stormwater?
Stormwater is what, $300 or something?
No.
I think it's 1,100.
Is it 1,100?
Yeah.
You gotta check our fees. So, motion to waive.
Which?
Both.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, there you go.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
We know you will use the money wisely.
The church congregation purchased 17 acres at 130 and 134 Littleton Road and is seeking to build a 22,000 square foot church on the property. The 600-member congregation purchased the land in December 2015 from Black Walnut Park, LLC. The Grace Church community has been renting on Billerica Road in Chelmsford for the past 23 years. WestfordCAT will bring you any significant planning board updates on the matter. And now for our feature of the week. The Men's Over 30 Softball League has permission to drink alcohol in the parking lot of the VFW ball field. But a group of residents living near or next to the field want permission revoked by changing the bylaw. Ken Wilmer of Village View Road lives near the ball field and has been a spokesman for neighbors and abutters, complaining that activity sometimes continues until midnight. Organizers for the Over 30 Softball League offered a few compromises at the January 22nd Selectmen's meeting. Members of the league point to the attributes of the league: camaraderie, family involvement, networking, and revenue to the town. In fact, league members have an ally. Selectman Chairman Mark Cost read a statement at the January 22nd Selectmen's meeting in support of the league.
Here's the shame of all of this. For nearly 40 years, and with likely over 1,000 players from this town, the Men's Over 30 Softball League has been a family. A family of players, a family of families where children grow up and watch their dads compete and then shake hands and socialize with one another. A family of spouses who complain about their softball playing husbands but come out to be with one another. And a family of new friendships which are made and are everlasting.
Wilmer is calling for Cost to recuse himself if a vote is taken prior to the March 23rd town meeting. Speaking for the softball players, John Bodie outlined the compromises the league is willing to make.
We're willing to continue trying to compromise to try and keep the peace here. It seemed like the 11 o'clock time frame was an issue for a lot of people. It will be an issue for us to give up that third game on Fridays, but we're willing to try and make it work. We're willing to eliminate that time, keep it 10 and 10:30 across the board, and hopefully that will help folks. We're not sure how we're going to change the schedule, to be perfectly honest. There are a lot of options. We're considering all of them. We haven't talked to the full board as a body yet to formalize any potential proposals, but we'll do what we have to.
Wilmer and his neighbors also amended their proposed bylaw by offering the following. Residents and groups could have as many as 3 events per year, per person, with alcohol. Here he is explaining the rest of the compromises.
So prior to 2014, since the board and the town had not granted permission, the way the bylaw is written, it was not allowed. The bylaw says that you must have permission. So by default, prior to 2014, alcohol was not allowed on any of the town property. So in 2014, the board changed that position to allow alcohol on any of the town property, any of the parks. In terms of what the citizens petition calls for, in terms of limiting the alcohol consumption, the only limits that are put forth are that any organization only get 1 permit a month, and that any particular venue only get 1 permit a week.
The bylaw would make exceptions for places like the Roden Bush Community Center, East Boston Camps, the Farmers Market, and the Westford Museum. To watch the entire January 22nd Selectmen's meeting on demand, visit westfordcat.org. The deadline for filing nomination papers was March 19th. There are only a few contested races. Robert Schaefer and Michael Bonifant will duke it out for the 5-year seat that longtime planning board member Michael Green is vacating. On the school committee, Arthur Benoit will not seek re-election to his 3-year seat, but Alicia Mallon, who has completed an unexpired term and is running for the seat, will vie against Daniel Goldner and Sean Kelly. Regarding uncontested races, Selectmen Scott Hazelton and Andrea Perriner-Sweet are both running again to sit on the board. Stephanie Granger and Sue Hanley will seek to serve another 3 years on the Board of Health. Muriel Drake is running for a 5-year seat on the Housing Authority, and Janine McCormick is running for a 4-year seat, also on the Housing Authority. Glenn Secor and Elizabeth Jerks are seeking 3-year terms as library trustees, and Alicia Hillman is running for a 2-year seat. The townwide election will take place on May 7th. WestfordCAT News will bring you updates. Here's Superintendent Bill Olson with news from the schools.
Hi, this is Superintendent of Schools Bill Olson with a school system update. It's at the present time around the middle of March, approaching the latter part of March, which means we're beginning to look at the closeout of the current school year from an operational and financial perspective, and certainly looking forward to planning for the new school year that begins in late August. This is a time of year also where the Westford Academy seniors will be beginning their internships. It's always a very, very interesting time for seniors. Somewhat sad in that their 4-year career at Westford Academy will be coming to a close, but their capstone projects are always very exciting. I'm amazed at the level of sophistication of some of them. And I'm encouraged also that a number of students each year do internships in our schools because they have discovered that they're developing a passion for the teaching profession, which can only bode well for the future of Westford and the future of our country. And I've always encouraged them to come back to Westford after they have matriculated in a program in college and apply for a position here, because we would love to hire them because they have a great passion for the town and a great passion for our school system. As we proceed towards town meeting, once again, pleased to let you know that niche.com, which is a research firm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, ranks communities, ranks school systems, providing consumer information in general. The 2019 ranking of school systems in the state of Massachusetts indicates that we are the 3rd top school system in Massachusetts, just behind Newton and Lexington, so we're very proud of that. They have ranked us as 36th overall in America out of over 10,700 school systems. So we take great pride in our families, our students, and our staff, the quality of our programs, and the care that we give to our students. It means an awful lot to us. Our job is to provide the best education possible given the dollars appropriated, and we'd like to think we've done a fine job at that. This is Bill Olson. I look forward to seeing you in a town meeting, and I look forward to seeing you next time on my update.
Diamond is a friendly 2-year-old pit bull mix, available now for adoption at the Lowell Humane Society. Here's WestfordCAT Production Coordinator, Patty Stalker, with more.
If you're looking for a little sparkle and shine in your life, consider adopting this 2-year-old pit bull mix, available now for adoption at the Lowell Humane Society. Shelter volunteer Roger Logaman tells us more about Diamond.
Diamond is a 2-year-old female pit bull mix. She's been here since the 5th of March, but she was a couple of months in another shelter, so we don't have a lot of background on her. We do know she's very friendly, very excited, very active, playful girl, aren't you? So she hasn't been neutered or spayed, but she will be before she's adopted. Diamond is not dog reactive that we've seen, so she's a good candidate for a home with another dog. She's fine with kids, probably not little kids just because she's so active and rambunctious, but older kids are fine. So clearly she needs some space to play and somebody to play with would make her most happy. She is housebroken, which is always a big plus. You're gonna fog up my glasses for me, aren't you, huh? You're gonna fog up my glasses for me. Huh? You're too big to be a lap dog for most people.
If you'd like to provide Diamond with her forever home, or would like more information on donating to or volunteering at the Lowell Humane Society, visit them Tuesday through Sunday at 951 Broadway Street in Lowell, or go to lowellhumanesociety.org. Call 978-452-7781. You can also find them on Facebook. For WestfordCAT, I'm Patty Stalker.
You're a good girl. You're a good girl, aren't you?
With moderate temperatures and sunny days this week, could spring be just around the corner? Let's see what weather.com is forecasting as we head into the weekend. Here's WestfordCAT Marketing Outreach Director Sarah Fletcher with suggestions for things to do in the area.
Thanks, Christina. Musician Jeff Snow will perform at the J.V. Fletcher Library on March 28th at 7 p.m. Snow calls his show The Softer Side of Celtic. His concerts have been described as quiet and relaxing, and while much of it is, he sometimes gets the foot stomping going. The instruments, vocals, and Jeff's knowledge of his Scottish heritage create a program of traditional and original songs. The performance is for ages 14 and up with no charge to attend. Register at westfordlibrary.org or call Information Services at 978-399-2304. Local artist Gail Flannery will facilitate a morning of creativity on Thursday, April 4th, 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. at the Parish Center for the Arts. Join fellow artists for an exchange of ideas and information. This program is for adults only. The drop-in fee is $5. For more information, call 978-692-4560 or email watercolor7@verizon.net. Come join a fast, fun, and social badminton game that can be played by people of all ages and experience. Sponsored by the Westford Parks and Recreation Department, the games take place in the Blanchard School Gym from 6:30 to 9 p.m. on Thursdays, beginning March 28th and running through April 30th. The drop-in fee is $5 per night, and the maximum number of participants is 20. I'm Sarah Fletcher, Marketing Outreach Manager at WestfordCAT. Back to you, Christina.
That's it for now, Westford. Enjoy the classical musical notes of Amit Kavdekar on tabla and Vinay Desai on santur. The duo performed on March 16th at the Parish Center for the Arts.